Good morning. Today is day 79 of Moving Mountains Beneath My Feet. We're 101 days on our journey around the sun. There's 264 days left in the year, and this is episode 55. Yesterday, I had the magical Health and High Vibes. My coach, someone who is very near and dear to me, on, and we had a really great conversation around healing and some of the things that I've been going through over the last year and how she's helped me. It was really a great time. I really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed having a guest on this format of a podcast, quote unquote, right? I didn't ever think this would become what it is, but I'm hearing from more and more people that they're getting something from this, and I'm hearing good feedback, and so it's encouraging me to continue to keep doing this. I mean, I'm doing this for myself, but also just to share my voice and what I'm learning. Oh man, it's a dead iguana. Anyway, what I was trying to say, or what I'm getting at, is something was brought to my attention yesterday. Yesterday's hike was such a beautiful experience for me. Something that I've been wanting to manifest for a while, just to have that experience with her. And all I had to do was ask, and I think it didn't dawn on me how many times in our lives are there things that we want, but we don't even have the courage to ask for them, right? It's like the world is wide open and we create these rules around what's possible and what's not possible for us. And I don't know why it was that I had this desire to ask her to go on a hike with me and do this with me, but it wasn't until I asked that she said yes. And it just seems silly to me that it was something that I wanted to do, but I wouldn't ask. And I think this applies to a lot of places in our lives. What are the things in your world, in your life, that you desire, but you don't have the courage to ask for them, and why, right? Maybe you don't deserve them in your mind. Maybe you feel you don't deserve them. Or maybe you feel like there's these blockages that make it impossible for those things to exist. But if you don't even ask, then it's not possible, right? And so I just want to encourage anyone who's listening today to think about this. Is where in your life are there areas of things that you want that you haven't had the courage to truly ask for? Whether it's asking yourself, asking your partner, your lover, the person you're in a relationship with, asking your boss for something, asking your coworkers. Ask, right? Ask the universe, right? Put that intention and that question out there, versus just the action of desire, right? It's like, oh, you just want this thing, and that you feel like you're asking. But sometimes you need to physically ask, or intentionally ask, or write it out. This leads into like a nuanced subject of that whole conversation around needing something, wanting something, and holding the vibration of keeping it away from you. There's nuance to this, right? It's like when you ask, you have to let go of the outcome. You have to be okay with whatever the answer is. You can't be scared to hear no, right? You just have to be open. Your job is to ask for it. Sometimes even bad situations or circumstances you don't want to be in, with people or places or things or whatever, that causes you to understand what you don't want, and therefore you can ask for something that you do want. But a lot of times we're so focused and zeroed in on what we don't have, and we're asking from that place of lack. It's like literally our job is just to ask for it and let it go. And what I found is when I can actually, I hate this word now, I don't hate it, but surrender, was the word that came up for me last year's retreat, the retreat that changed my life. I got this message of surrender, and this whole last year has been a giant lesson dragging me, kicking and screaming through beautiful experiences, but also hard and difficult experiences of surrendering. And I don't think I'm ever going to fully arrive, but it's just a constant learning. It's surrendering to what is, surrendering to how things really are right now, and surrendering to whatever the outcomes are, and letting go of what and how you think something should come about. Because what I'm finding is that regardless of what I want and how I want it, that's clear. But when I let go and stop fighting or trying to force something, it ends up being better than I could have imagined, right? And so this is, again, such a nuanced, hard lesson to, like, it's easier for me to say it than for you to do it. And it's the same way for me. It's easier for me to talk about it than it is to actually do it, especially in things that really, truly matter to me, around financial abundance or my relationship or, things that truly, deeply matter to me. But that's where I need to actually surrender more. And again, it's such a nuanced, hard thing to do. It's not easy to do. It's simple, but it's not an easy practice. And so I would recommend or suggest, nudge you to think about what is the things that you've wanted that you haven't asked for, and can you surrender to how things are and to whatever the outcome is going to be, regardless of whether it's what you want or not. I feel that resistance that you feel, when you can let go of that resistance, it opens you up and allows things to show up more. And so yesterday was an example of that. I asked her on a date to go do this hike, and she didn't know I was going to put her on the spot. But and I let it go, and of course she said yes, and it was just a magical experience. And we had really deep conversations, and it was just a good time, and I'm really appreciative of it. And it's just crazy. It's just wild that something simple like that I would hold myself back from even requesting it, and so now I'm learning, right? I'm learning. My attachment style has, problems with asking for what I need and what I want. A lot of times the anxious heart will put others' needs and wants before themselves, and, being more assertive and learning how to voice what I want, and being okay with the no, being okay with, my needs being in conflict with my partner's needs, and finding a middle ground, finding a way where we can both be happy. That's just part of growing and healing and learning. And so I'm leaning into that in all the areas of my life, not just in my relationship. Learning to ask from other people what I'm wanting, what I'm needing, right? Can you do this for me? I'd really like it if you could do this for me, and posing it as a request versus obviously everything's a request, but just how you word these things is also important. But the fear that anxious hearts feel of well, what if they say no? Or what if, something happens? Or what if there's a consequence for me voicing my need or desire or whatever? Fine. It's not going to be the end of the world. Part of what's going to get you what you want is getting over that hump. And so that's really my main message for today, is to have the courage to ask for what you want. And you'd be surprised at how often other people want to help you get what you want, and how the universe will conspire to give you what you want when you ask for it in the right way and you let go of that result. Right? And you just put it out there. You don't have to know the how. The how's not important. The how's not even your job. The what do I want is your job. Let everything else work itself out. You'll be inspired to do something or to go meet somebody, or there'll be something that happens that brings you closer to that desire that you feel. I'm walking proof of this, and it's been a long time learned lesson. It's not something that I learned overnight. It's something that I've had to learn painfully over time. But I am over time right now. And so that's really what I want to leave you with. I hope everyone has a beautiful, magical day today. Blessings.